Welcome to the 2014 MEMS Executive Congress. We're here in Scottsdale, Arizona. I'm Angie Kellen, and joining me is Francis Gouillart of Experience Co-Creation Partnership. Hello, Francis.
Good morning.
Thanks so much for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Right, so I've been partly an academic and partly a consultant, and I teach a thing called co-creation, which is how big ecosystems come together. And I'm particularly interested in the food and agriculture value chain or ecosystem.
Very good. Well, I know that you're delivering the closing keynote today, and you're talking about 1 trillion sensors. Can you give us a few key points about what you're going to talk about?
Yes, the essence of this, Angie, is to think about what it will take to transform food as we know it and agriculture as we know it. There are very optimistic messages coming out from Abundance and other people saying that the world will change and MEMS will change that world. The sensors of MEMS will change that. I believe this will happen, but I do not believe it will be inevitable. So today is a call to arms to the MEMS industry to intervene in the agriculture value chain and in the food value chain, because if people do not mobilize themselves to do that, it will not spontaneously happen. That's the essence of the talk.
Well, that's wonderful. Well, I'm definitely going to be attending a little bit later on today, so I look forward to that. So another question for you. Have you gone to any other presentations during the conference that you found very interesting?
Yes, in fact, I had the rare privilege of sitting through yesterday. That never happens to me, but I was just coming back from Berlin, and coming to Phoenix just gave me an idle day here, and I basically listened to all the conversations. I really learned a whole lot about this. I find myself competing with the healthcare value chain, trying to recruit a bunch of people to come to agriculture and food and essentially lead them out of their healthcare path. So I've enjoyed that very much. I was just listening to Tom Kenny from Stanford, who was extremely rich. He presented a historical view of how the industry has come together, and I was finding myself being very envious because he was describing how much the automotive industry had helped them, the fact that automotive people came to MEMS meeting, helped the design. Unfortunately, we do not have that in agriculture or in food. People are largely ignorant about MEMS, so my challenge for next year will be to bring the Monsantos and John Deere of this world and bring them to this exciting world of MEMS.
Well, terrific. And and that's kind of the whole spirit of the MEMS Executive Congress, and what the MEMS Industry Group is trying to do is bring, cross platforms, if you will, together and see if it works in one industry, it may work in the other. So wonderful that you've been able to identify that.
It's wonderful for me to discover really how that works. One of the most exciting thing about about MIG, I guess, is really the discovery that the group is much more than a group of exquisite technologists. Somehow, so this very integrated value chain point of view is extremely valuable. So this is probably the part that I've enjoyed the most here.
Well, terrific. And I have one more question, then I'll turn you loose to go back to the rest of the conference. What is your favorite part about the MEMS Executive Congress? Is it the presentations, the networking, talking on camera with me?
It's probably talking on camera with you, of course.
That's a very good answer.
But at the same time, I would say just the thing that's been valuable, I've watched the elevator pitch. I found the elevator pitch to be very enriching in the technology showdown, or whatever the name is of this. So I like to see the vibrancy of young, impressionable minds developing new things and people trying to figure out how to help them and finance them. So I found this to be very tonic from a personal humanitarian point of view, perhaps.
Well, wonderful. Well, I'm not going to keep you any longer, and thank you so much for your time. And I will stop in and see your keynote later today. Thank you.
Thank you, Angie.
Thank you. In Scottsdale, Arizona, Angie Kellen for the MEMS Industry Group.